Welcome to everyone. This is Suleiman Hattar Kihar. In this video, we will have a discussion on the concept of rent as well as the types of rent, or say the classification of rent. Okay, first we will know what is exactly rent refers. We will discuss the meaning of rent. Here, in the ordinary language, or say uh, in general, the term rent means a periodical payment made for the use of any particular thing, such as a plot of land, building, house, room, machine, or any other property which is belongs to some other person, or say those things which is under the some other ownership. If we utilize those things, or if we used those things, we have to pay some reward for that. That reward is called in economics contractual rent. Okay, this is the general meaning, exactly what we observe in the society, and that is called contractual rent. But the term rent differs in economics. In economics, the term rent used in a special sense. When we used it in the special sense, it is called economic rent, not the contractual rent. It refers the payment made for the use of land and the other free gifts of the nature. It means in economics, a rent can be provided only use for land and those things which is provided by the nature with free of cost. If we use those things, we have to pay some reward for that. That is called rent in economics. That is also termed as economic rent. Okay, economic rent. Next, types of the rent, or say the classification of the rent. The rent can be classified in 4 categories. Among that, the first one is, say, economic rent. Economic rent refers to the payment made for the use of land or other free gifts of the nature, which is we have already discussed in the previous slide. Here, one more thing which we have to remember is, that is, Professor Balding termed it economic surplus. Economic surplus. Why? Because it emerges without any effort on the part of land. For example, say there is some land on which some farmers are cultivating that. Okay, cultivating that. Those farmers, or say tenants, has to pay reward for the land owners, that is landlords. Okay, landlords. It means those landlords can get freely, or it is a surplus amount which is made by the farmers in the particular land, and that surplus can be transferred in the form of rent to the landlords. This is the economic rent. Second one, the gross rent. Gross rent is the rent which is paid for the services of land and the capital invested on it. Okay, capital invested on it in the sense, say, to improve the capacity of the land or to increase the production level, we have to invest some income on the improvement of that land. Okay, here gross rent includes mainly 3 items. The first one is, say, economic rent itself. It means it is a payment made for the use of land. And the second one, interest on capital invested on it for the improvement of land. Okay, whatever the capital or amount invested on the improvement of the land or to increase the capacity of the land, for that we pay some reward in the form of interest, and this is also includes in the gross rent. This is the second one. Third one, reward for risk taken by the landlord on investing his capital on the land. Here what we have to remember is, when we made investment in a particular land, After that we doesn't know whether we will get benefit or we will having the losses. Okay, that risk, that type of risk beared by only landlords. Okay, landlords, for that we pay some rewards. The rewards, that rewards also includes in the gross rent. This is the meaning of the gross rent. Next, third one, we have scarcity rent. Scarcity rent refers to the price paid for the use of homogeneous land. Homogeneous in the sense, say, same land, when its supply is limited in relation to the demand. It means the scarcity rent arises, due to scarcity in the supply of land, or say the limited land is exist. We cannot increase the supply of land accordingly demand. For example, say, for example, the at the time of demand, what happens to the supply automatically increases. When the demand increase, supply also increases. This is a natural law which we have in economics. But here what happens, when the supply of land is inelastic in nature, it cannot change with the change in the price as well as the demand. At that time we have to pay more reward for the that particular land in the form of rent. That type of rent called scarcity rent. It arises due to the scarcity of land. This is the third one. Next, fourth one we have the Quasi rent. The concept of Quasi rent was introduced in the economic theory by the Professor Alfred Marshall in 1890. In 1890, he published a book, namely The Principle of Economics. In that book, he gave the concept of Quasi rent. Quasi means what? Quasi literally means similar to what? Similar to rent. Similar to what? Similar to rent. Here Quasi rent refers to the additional income earned by a factor other than the land, and it is similar to rent. This is called Quasi rent. It means factors other than land means what? There are some factors which involves in the factor production process. Those factors are called man-made factors. For example, say machines are there. Next, the buildings are also there. These are called the man-made factors. Okay, man-made factors. The income earned by these factors is called Quasi rent, which is similar to the rent only. Okay, which is similar to the rent. Rent arises only, or say rent is a income for only land, factor of land. But what about other factors other than land? Those factors also earn some income, and that income called as a Quasi rent according to Alfred Marshall. And this concept only applicable to the short period or short run. Why? Because land is fixed for all the time, whether it is say short run or long run. Land is fixed. Whatever the land earned income, that is called say rent. In the short run, that is also called rent, and in the long run, that is also called rent. But what about other factors? Other factors like machines and buildings, etc., those factors also earn some income in the short run. In the short run, those factors are also fixed. We cannot increase the man-made factors accordingly demand in the short run. It means in the short run, the man-made factors also fixed in nature. That is the reason, that is the reason we say the Quasi rent arises in the short run only. it disappear in the long run. Why? Because in the long run we can increase the supply of man-made factors according to demand. Okay, when we observe the demand and supply theory, we know that when the demand increases in the market, along that the supply of that product also increases. But here what happens, when the demand increases, we cannot increase supply in the short run. When we unable to increase the supply of that product, then automatically the price of that product increases. It means that product can earn more income. In the short run it is possible for the man-made factors, but in the long run we can also increase the man-made factors. That is the reason the Quasi rent disappears in the long run. Okay, this is the concept and the types of say rent. In next video we will have a discussion on the theories of rent. There are two theories in our syllabus. The first one is say Ricardian theory of rent, and the second one modern theory of rent. Okay, thank you.